special guest on our second show, and we're here with Jade Avedisian from Clovis in California. And good morning, Jade. Thank you for your time this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, because a lot of people here in Australia may not know who you are. Obviously, everyone's pretty much involved in like the speed cars and the sprint cars down here. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jade Avedisian. I'm 13 and I race micros in California and a little bit in the Midwest in like Oklahoma and stuff.
So can you tell us a little bit on how you first started in the sport?
So my dad used to work on sprint cars when he was a kid, so then it's always really been in our family. So then when I was born, I've been to the races since I was a couple months old, and then I was probably 3 or 4, and my dad bought a little quarter midget for me to just play around. So we went to parking lots after school and stuff, and I would just mess around. And then one day I kind of got tired of it, and I wanted to race other cars. So he brought me to the track, and then ever since then I've been racing since I was I probably started racing when I was 7, and now I'm 13.
Wow, pretty cool. Okay, I'm just looking on some of your achievements that you've already achieved. It's unbelievable that you've achieved so much for someone so young.
Thank you.
I think probably from mid 2018, 2019 is when you started started dominating pretty much. And I've just noticed from your trophies that you've got in the background there that you had a really good year in 2019.
Yeah, it clipped, and then ever since then I've been doing pretty good.
So out of all of the races you've won, 'cause you've won quite a bit, so can you just tell us what you won in the previous 12 months?
So last year I won a Night of Speed Week clay cut that's up in Washington, and then the Markagopian race in Visalia, California, and then at the end of the year, around Christmas, I won the Tulsa Shootout.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the Tulsa Shootout? Obviously, that's the same place they do the Chili Bowl. So a lot of us from here in Australia, we actually go over for that and watch that. So can you tell us the experience winning in a facility like that in such a big race?
Yeah, it's definitely awesome. That's probably one of my biggest goals. Definitely one of my biggest goals to win, and I finally got it, so I was pretty excited.
Oh yes, I have seen a couple photos of that, and it was on the replay on Racing Boy, so it came up, but it just for some reason your race wasn't on there. They had all the main stuff, but couldn't locate yours, which was a bit cool. So in the sport, obviously, in the last week you raced the 600 Sooner Speed Week. Can you tell us a bit about that? And you had a pretty successful week.
Yeah, I raced that up in Oklahoma, and I did pretty good. I won 3 times in restricted, and then I got 1 win in A class. And then after the week, they had overall points, and I was able to come out with restricted and A class overall points. So that was pretty cool.
Yep, that was pretty. And I just noticed on the last night, because I was off that day. So I was watching, I noticed in the feature started out at 9, you worked your way up to about 5th, and I thought, I need to move a couple of spots, and you're quite happy sitting in 5th. So I thought, back then I thought, I think maybe she knows she's got this in the bag. So just to take it easy and just finish and get those points, and the rest looked after itself.
Yeah, the last night I think I had to finish 13th or something. So I just trying to be safe out there and not make dumb mistakes and don't wreck myself. So I just I started 9th and I got up to 4th, so it was okay.
And a couple of weeks ago you ran with the open class. I think it was at Port City or something, I think. And can you explain how that went? Because you've gone from the restricted and then the winged A class, and then you went up into the outlaw section just for the weekend.
Yeah, we started at I-44 and then we went to Port. It was the Turnpike Challenge, and it was my first race in outlaw, so that was pretty cool. I did okay, and then the last night I was doing good, and I hit a tire and flipped, but that was still pretty cool. I felt like I made the mains all nights, and that was our biggest goal. So, I mean, we did pretty good. I felt like.
I thought you did very well to get to qualify straight into the features both nights, and had it been up for that time, maybe you would have got a podium on that second night, because I think all the driven cars were up in the top 5 there at one stage. So until Brady came along, so it was a pretty good effort straight out of the box, pretty much. So
Yeah.
should be pleased with that. Should be pretty pleased with that effort to come straight out and beat some of the other guys. I don't know how they would have gone with that, but then just a little bit about the cars that you've got, because I've just noticed that you've got some really strong support behind you when it comes to chassis and engines and crew and your sponsors.
Yeah, Driven Performance and Lineman Motors. I mean, I couldn't be more happier. They help me a ton, and when I do good, it's always awesome because they're always like rooting me on, and just felt like I have a good team behind me right now. So I'm pretty happy with them.
So obviously, if you had the opportunity to come to Australia, and of course, obviously with Corona at the moment, that's probably not going to happen. I'd say probably the next 18 months, unless things change dramatically here, I would have thought. But if the opportunity to race in Australia came up, would you take it up?
Yeah, I've always dreamed of racing in Australia. It seems pretty cool back there.
Yeah, yes, in summer it's hot, but our what we call Formula 500s, they call them here. So we run a speed week between Christmas and New Year, and they run about 5 nights in 7 days. So it's pretty full on of that. However, it does restrict, obviously, with the Tulsa shootout back over there. So that does stop a lot of the drivers coming out for that. And it's the same thing for the Chili Bowl when that's on and it clashes with the Classic here. Generally, a lot of the Americans won't come out because they'll do the Chili Bowl instead. Yeah. So obviously, at the moment, you're leading the points in the Lucas Oil National Open Wheel Series in the restricted and the wing day class. So, just when your next race is in that series?
I think my next race is like a month or so. I'm not really sure where it's at, but I'm leading A class a little bit, and then restricted. Me and the Garrett Benson are pretty close, so that one's like both of them have really good competition. So I feel like if we can pull those off, it would be pretty awesome.
Actually, yeah, I was watching when Garrett won last week, and I thought, oh, he was close in the speed week standings, and then I was working it out, and then
yeah,
well, if he won and you finished second, I think you've got enough points, and you did. So he's a very strong little competitor. So obviously in the sport, you've obviously watched a lot, obviously, because it sounds like you're at the track nearly every week, even if you're not racing. Who do you look up to the most?
Probably Jade Gopian.
Yes, I think Jake's been out here a couple of times, actually.
So, yeah, he has.
Yep. So where do you see yourself in about 2 to 3 years?
Hopefully I can race like sprint cars, or I always really wanted to be in a midget. It looks fun. So hopefully somewhere like in a sprint car or a midget, that would be pretty cool.
So maybe get a drive with the Toyota team or something like that would be pretty cool.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully.
So one thing I've noticed, obviously, I'm just listening from here. I've been watching the sport for a very long time, and come across as someone who's very quietly spoken, laid back, and then you put the helmet on, and you can become this completely different person. And it's like, oh my goodness, she's just taken off on the start here and just gone. It's like, so because you can go from quiet to just and then be a racer. And I think that's one good positive to have. You can keep you work up all your energy to the minute you put the helmet on, right, let's go for it. And you can just clearly see on some of the starts, I've just noticed like you like work the top always in the corners and all that sort of thing to try. And I've noticed another thing too with the points, the way they do them over there is like there's a lot of emphasis on passing points over there. So I've noticed.
Yeah, the heat races are off passing points. In California, we qualify, so it's a little different, but I rather like pass cars and do your best lap. So really, I just try to stay focused, and every time I hit the track, try to move forward as much as I can.
That's so cool. So can you tell us who your sponsors are? And I can tell you've got plenty because the car's just covered in them.
Yeah, I can't thank them enough. CMT Extreme Products, Scarlet Collision, Impact Safety, Driven Performance, Jade Cagopian, Cody and Cole Christensen, my whole entire family, and Advanced Water Solutions, and everyone else who helps me.
Awesome. Obviously, you can't do it without your sponsors. So this is the first time you've spoken to us here in Australia. Have you watched any racing from here?
Yeah, I watched a little bit, like over YouTube or whatever's on.
Yep. So obviously, over there at the moment, obviously it's your main season now over there. So there's lots of racing on at the moment. So we've just had, obviously it's the last night of midget week. Have you been watching any of that?
Yeah, we've watched every night except for last night.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see last night because I was out. So but we'll watch that again this morning and see if Larson can get another win. And if he's not winning, he's finishing second. So
yeah, he's really good.
He's one of a kind. I think he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So before you said you'd love to race a midget and a sprint car, what would your ultimate ambition be, saying about maybe 5 to 10 years? Because that's a little bit longer. That's probably a little bit longer down the track.
Honestly, I just want to, like, whatever I get in, my biggest goal is to be good in whatever I'm in. So I'm not really sure, but whatever I'm in at that time, just to be good.
Yeah, I think one thing that is in your corner, so to speak, is you've got all the right people in the right places, and that just makes a huge difference. So obviously you've got your family there, support you 100% every weekend. Obviously you're doing a lot of traveling at the moment, and you've started early with it. So if you can get your footprint in now, and then others watch, and then that could lead on to other things down the track. Sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. I can't thank them enough. They do a ton for me, and then whatever I get in, I just hope I can move up the ladder. So
that's it. So can you tell us what you get up to outside the racetrack? In your normal life, so to speak.
Like during the week, I work out a little bit. I ride my dirt bike and I swim. We don't really have because we always, now that we're flying everywhere, because our cars are in the Midwest, like we get home Monday and then we fly out Thursday. So it's like a short week, if you would say. So we kind of just, when we get home, like catch up with everything before we leave again.
Yeah, right. How do you go with the traveling? Because what's the flight time from California to the Midwest?
Oh, 4 hours.
Oh, it's still a long time when you're doing it every week, I suppose.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite food?
Probably steak.
Steak? Yeah, I have steak probably twice a week. And I had my first can of Dr. Pepper last week. It was okay.
You don't like it?
It was all right. Some of the comments on Facebook were pretty funny. But a lot of friends have been down to America. They like it, and some not so. But my friend has got a bakery, and they sell it a lot. So it's obviously pretty popular.
Oh.
So,
my crew chief is like, our whole entire fridge in our shop is all Dr. Pepper, so when he comes over, he just drinks all of it.
What's your favorite trophy you've got in the background there?
Probably the driller.
The driller, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And that's the first thing that I think when I was researching, because I'm always looking up different drivers to see how they're going, and that was the first thing I noticed straight away. Was I thought, hang on, this race has won the Tulsa Shootout. I'm like, is this the same thing that's at the Chili Bowl? And because I'm not real familiar with the American stuff, and then I went researching again, and I went, oh my goodness, that's the race the week before the Chili Bowl. This is full on. And then that's when, just a massive achievement. And I'm sure you did pretty well with last week with the speed week. You got a pretty good payday out of it as well. So I'm sure the parents were pretty happy with that.
Yep.
So obviously, can you tell us about, obviously you've got your mum and your dad and your sister, and they all follow you around with the racing, obviously?
Yep, and they go with us every weekend to the track. And Cole and Cody and the rest of our family watches on TV if it's streamed, so they're all supportive.
I think that makes it a lot easier. Well, thanks for your time this morning. It's been really cool getting the insight and taking your time out of your weekend. And I'm going to pause this. If you can just hang on the line for a sec. And so Jade was kind enough to allow us to interview her this morning. This has been recorded Sunday, but it'll be Tuesday when this goes up. So we thank you for your time this morning, and hope to speak to you again before the season's out.
What was that? You broke up.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for your time this morning, and we hope to speak to you again before the season before the end of the year.
Oh, thank you for your time.